Hello everybody, Jared the LEGO Freak here with an exclusive sneak peek at the Windows 8.1 preview. Now here, starting off before I get into details, here is your lock screen. The new and improved lock screen has a slideshow that can show many different pictures, and this is like your new screensaver. Automatically it will go into this and play whole pictures, or different pictures, like in an origami thing. You have a little zoom going on there, and you can see all of your pictures in a slideshow, and you still have the date and time and Wi-Fi battery power. Sometimes you get weather there too and stuff like that. And then you have all your pictures here. This is kind of like your new screensaver. Instead of having the screensaver, it kind of turns that off by default and automatically turns this thing on, which is quite nice. Okay. So in here, you can see we have just our normal desktop, except for one thing. We have the start button. The start button has returned. Yes, finally. Due to the outcry of Windows 7 users, you can now use the start button. Yay! It's not the same as it used to be. It's not like you click on it and get a bunch of links to your favorite programs. But you do still have the start screen and the Metro Interface highly promoted, and touch, of course, is still the big focus here. But if you right-click on this, you get kind of the power menu, which you would normally get in by right-clicking on the left corner in Windows 8. You would get like a power menu, but now right here, you do it by right-clicking on the start button, and then you have power options, and you can also get to the desktop, because you can get to this anywhere by mousing to the lower left corner in Metro mode or with any app. Now, you might be saying this looks a little more reflective. This is not because they changed this, because I have a special theme. This pretty much the theme still stays the same here. It's just because I have Windows blinds, and I just I like to customize my experience. So you can see this is reflective, because this is Windows blind. But the standard interface is still there, the default skin, like that. That's what you get by default in Windows 8. I just have it customized. So same pretty much gestures here. You still have the darn bar. You still have the multitasking, the same thing. Except when you go into here, you can see, or I have to open another app. Let's just open up weather here. And then if I go into here, I can see all my apps that are open, and then at the bottom here it says start as well, and you can get to the start screen easier with the little new orb there, the start orb, the start button. Then you have all your apps right here, which leads me to another awesome feature, which I will get to in a minute, the new snap feature, which is quite improved. So here's the start screen. We have backgrounds, and we can now customize the color. We have new backgrounds. You can use the desktop background as the start screen, which is really cool. Now go in here, and you can see you can use it as the background, and then when you go into the desktop, it feels less jarring. So when you go in here, you can see if it doesn't feel as stunning when you go into there. It's like, oh my gosh, I just switched into a different mode. It kind of feels slightly like you're in the same mode. And then, of course, here you can change your color, so you can go through a full color palette here. I'm gonna go into blue here. Nice blue there, probably. Oh, that's good. Then you can see you can choose all of your favorite colors very easily, and then you can go into different backgrounds as well and customize the colors, which is quite nice, because before you had just kind of a limited set of colors. You didn't have too much of an option. Now you have tons of options depending on your tastes, which I think is awesome. And then we have also more options for personalizing the start screen. So now when we hold down on a tile, it kind of pops out, and they all kind of separate, and it's kind of blurred out depending on where your tile, which tile you've selected. And when it's highlighted, all the rest are kind of blurred out or kind of faded, have like a gloss over them, so it's not as distracting. And then you can easily move them around here, much easier than you could before. And when you select one, you can resize it. You can unpin it from start. You can turn the lifetime on. All those different good features, depending on which one, which tile you're selecting. Again, here you can change the sizes, and you can select multiple tiles here, and you can move them all to a different spot, which is not what I want to do. But that's a feature that is available here, and you can see there they are, like normal. But you can move 3 at once, and it'll kind of place all of them. If you want to move a whole group, or like a select thing of apps, you can do that as well, and that's pretty cool. Another thing you can do here too is resize your apps. So I can make both of these small, and you can see we have that new small tile size. And also we have this large tile size. So we have, it can be productive. We can be a lot more productive with our tile sizes because we have a lot more options. And of course we can name the groups and do a lot of stuff with this. It's really cool. And then again, moving is simple. Just move it anywhere you want. And then you can have your start screen just the way you want it. Another thing here too is that the colors of the desktop icons the color depends on the icon. So you can see the Tango icon is more red. This is the third-party program that's installed because the color is red. Because the color of the icon. This is more bluish, and then you can see it's gray. This is dark red, another dark red, orangish, light blue, gray. You have lots of different colors, so even though you have desktop icons, it still keeps it colorful, and that's one thing that I do like, because before, it was like you had this big mass of desktop icons and desktop apps, and it was all the same color. It got a little boring. So another thing, speaking of the desktop, one change they've made to the desktop is they've kind of taken away the need to go to the desktop to change your setting. You can change your settings in Metro mode. You can see, you can go through all of these, and you can see PC and devices, accounts, SkyDrive, search and apps, privacy, network, all these things you can go into and change. And you can change your lock screen, your display, your mouse, typing. You can customize what the corners and edges do when you swipe or use the trackpad. You can just do a lot of different things, and you don't have to be into the control panel. Of course, the control panel is still available, and you can still do everything in it, but you're not tied down to it anymore. Another thing here is, in addition to the customization, another thing that is really, really cool is the addition of the new snap feature. So I'm gonna get 2 apps ready here. Here's my desktop here. And then let's say I want to check or change some, or actually let's go here into weather. I want to check the weather and look at my desktop at the same time. Now we have the more logical 50-50, 2 and 2 snap view. Before, what it would do it would have like kind of a 3/4, 1/4, which that's still available, but it's not. You're not tied down to that one thing anymore. Let's get a better. Let's just say working here. Just go into music, and then I'll get to the new. You can actually see there's a new look here. It's much simpler. It's green and gray, and you can go into your collection, you can go radio, you can search for artists, so make radio stations, kind of more like Pandora-like, and it's simple. You just have your collection here, you can scroll through easily, and that's nice to be able to do that. But the other thing here that you can do is the snap, which is, I'll get to, here we have our desktop. And we can load 2 apps side by side, 50-50, and it works great. Another thing that this is great to do is with mail. You can go into mail and you can open up some photos that people have sent you, and it's very easy. You can view the photos, and then you can send an email all at the same time and see everything 50-50. You can open File Explorer and look at pictures and open it up side by side in your desktop. I'm bringing up side-by-side ads. I don't want to do this. There it goes. And you can look at your photos easily, get kind of a preview, and then be able to view them easily, too. Which is very nice. That's a nice way to view your photos and see them, and be able to be more effective at multitasking, because 3/4 and 1/4 was never really the best way to multitask, although that option is available to you. You can see we have different ranges. We can do this, do that, and with the Photos app we can really adjust it. Some are not as adjustable, but there's a lot of apps that are really adjustable, where you can just kind of move them a slight bit and angle them to whatever you want, so that you can really be very productive in multitasking. That's pretty much it, to changes. SkyDrive has been improved. There's some improvements there. Music, as I showed you, has been improved. I'll go into a little bit more detail here. You can see we have the search, we have a collection, we have radio, and we have explore. And that's pretty much it. It's simple. It keeps it simple, because when you're trying to listen to music, you don't want to like try to fumble through all of these things, you know, that you're trying to figure out. You don't have to fumble through all of these trying to figure out how to get to your music. When you just want a song and you can do it, it's easy. So you can go here and pretty much just listen. You can tap it or select it, and it will play. And then we still have the same cool now playing screen. You can skip through the steps. And you can listen to music easily and discover new artists, and then be able to access it all on one simple screen, which is very nice. Also, check out my music video, that song. I just released that the other day. On a side note, go and check that out. When you're done here, that's on my channel as well. Of course, you get to watch ads if you are streaming music, but that's one of the nice things, is that you can stream music, even though you have to listen to ads occasionally. You can do streaming stuff, and just like Pandora, you have ads, but it's kind of like Spotify or the new iTunes Radio. It's kind of like that, but you can create stations based on artists and stuff like that. It's a nice feature. Now, the availability of this preview. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Most of you will get this preview when it comes out in probably the fall. I imagine it's somewhere around September, October, you know, kind of around the release. A lot of software is released there, you know. There's April 1, now iOS 7, you know, that's a big time for the iPhone to come out, you know. It's kind of a big place, or a big time for tech. But it should be released sometime around there, but you can get the preview right now, and it runs great. I mean, I have not encountered very many bugs at all. I mean, I can't even name, at the top of my head, one bug that I've seen yet. It really, it runs smoothly. So if you are anxious to try it out, or if you want a little bit more of that start menu, I would go ahead and download it if you're willing to deal with this one thing. Now, I was hoping they would change this, but they're not going to. But this is their upgrade policy. Of course, you can still get the full version, the RTM version, for free, but you'll have to uninstall all of your apps, which I'm planning on getting a new computer by then. So it's not a big deal for me. But if you are worried about having to install all of your apps again, you might just want to hold off. Be grateful that you have Windows 8. And wait for the update to come out, so that you can keep all of your apps, because by now it's only going to be a few months. It's only going to be like 2 months, and at that point it's probably going to be worth the wait to hold off and not have to install all your apps, because that's going to be a pain. But I got it right when it came out, so it's going to be a while before it comes out, and like I said, I'm probably going to live with the preview for just like a month or so, and then I'll end up getting a new computer. So I'm not going to have to worry about that, but if you are planning on living with your computer for a long time, which I'm sure most of you are, wait to get the preview after, unless you're a developer, of course, or if you really want to try it and don't have that many apps or are willing to install the apps, and make sure they don't have much data, because if you have like games and stuff that don't have online accounts, you're going to lose all that data, and you still will be able to keep your files, but your apps are what is going to be affected. That's what's but it is worth it. If you're willing to deal with the apps issue, it is highly worth it to get that start screen and to have the snap feature. I think this is really what Windows 8 should have been, and Microsoft seems to do this a lot. They kind of release something and then are like, oh man, this wasn't good, so we need to fix it. That's kind of what they did with Windows 7 and Vista. Vista wasn't that good, so they fixed it with 7. Windows 8 had some things that are lacking, and they released Windows 8.1 to fix it. And, of course, it's not perfect. It's not like the perfect operating system, world's best desktop operating system. And I don't think there's no perfect operating system. All of them have their problems. But Windows 8 had its own problems. And this really irons out a lot of the kinks. It makes it a lot better. And I think this is enough to get a lot of Windows 8 users who didn't like Windows 8, or Windows 7 users who didn't like Windows 8, I think it's going to be enough to get them to switch and to maybe get a new PC. Because especially when you're using a touchscreen, the same thing's true. You still need a touchscreen to take the full advantage of the start screen, but you can still use it with a mouse. I mean, it's not unusable. But you can pretty much completely avoid it by booting to the desktop, by stopping the left corner switching, by disabling that feature. And another thing that you can do is kind of disable the charms bar, even if you don't want the charms bar, and just never go into the start screen. And it's a lot easier to work on a non-touch PC, so it's kind of more of an incentive to upgrade to Windows 8 and get the performance enhancements and stuff without having to worry about not having a touchscreen. It's easier to use Windows without a touchscreen, basically. But you still need one, or to take full advantage of the whole operating system, you really need a touchscreen to be able to do this all day. I mean, there's nothing like doing that. It's the funnest thing to do on Windows if you have a touchscreen. So, I would say definitely, this is a worthwhile upgrade. But if you're not too serious about it, I would say wait till the upgrade comes out. Don't get the preview unless you're really dying to use it, which I was. So, it was worth it for me. But I definitely think that this is enough. If you haven't bought Windows 8, if you haven't not bought a new computer, or if you haven't upgraded to Windows 8, I would say go out, buy a new touchscreen PC, and Windows 8 is good enough now to finally invest on even a non-touch PC, but especially touch PCs. Touch PCs and tablets are even more worthwhile now with the new update. Also, the store got a few improvements. That's one thing I forgot to mention. The store looks a little bit different. Once it loads here, the store has a new kind of green thing at the top, and it's kind of made to promote apps a little better. And then now since it's been a little while, it'll have more apps than when it originally did with Windows 8. But that's about it. The start button is definitely the main feature that I know most people are going to be excited about, even though it does just bring you back to the start screen. It still is a welcome enhancement, and of course you can always boot to the desktop too, kind of avoid the whole Metro interface or modern interface altogether. So there you go, guys. That's Windows 8.1. I hope you enjoyed it. Looking forward to the RTM version to come out this fall. Be looking for that, and definitely rest assured, if you didn't buy a Windows 8 PC because you didn't like Windows 8, you can definitely feel good about buying one now, because Windows 8.1 makes Windows 8 just a ton better. So, thanks for watching. I'm Joe Freak, and that was my review of Windows 8.1 preview. Thanks for watching.